At the initial stage, when he had the idea of this drama or knowing God or singing all those things, I was really moved because how can a young boy like this have this innovation?
Alright, basically, I've been a person right from time that I've loved to do things for God. And something my parents have always encouraged us to do is use our talent for God. So I think I've been to different programs, I've attended programs and all. And as at that time in 2017, thereabouts, yeah, we had not done a program like that. And that happened to be my first year in FUTA. So I saw the way programs were held, and I said, oh, if they could do this, we could also do this in my local church. So those events, being a partaker of those events, and the love I have for music, and because I've always wanted to use my talents to serve God, use my talents to bring people to God's kingdom, and that's basically been what has been driving me.
Ever wondered how it all started? What birthed the idea? How was he able to assemble the perfect team? How did they stay dedicated? And why did they go MIA for 3 years? If you ever wondered, here lies every answer to your question. This journey started years before you ever imagined. And now, as pieces come together, let's take it back to where it all began.
As Victor grew up, can you please tell us like the earliest memory you had of how Victor started working in the house of God, how he started doing things in the house of God? Can you tell us like the earliest memory you had of that song?
Started from 5 years. Then usually every Thanksgiving service, he used to come out to render a special song. That's where it started like that. Later on, because he likes to do things in the house of God, later on, one of those youth that are doing a drama group there, they later invited him to join the group, and he was smallest among them.
So, mommy, I know growing up, Victor started in your church. So, as a young adult, as a youth, how did you see him when he joined the church? What were the notable things you saw about him, like the features generally?
But for me, Victor is a son. When I saw him, I had to introduce him to my choir, our choir here. I said, this is my first goal. And Emmanuel mirrors him a lot. He's, yeah, in fact, can I say he's the only person that has really stayed with my family. He lived with us, we stayed together. So for me, Victor is a son. And I've seen him from that perspective, and he has never fall short with that expectation.
How everything takes start? How the idea take go for your head? Oh. Okay, I think the whole concept of 8 hours hallelujah praise started in 2017. I remember I was preparing for my exam, right, and I was in a night class, and then the idea popped into my head, and I was just carried away, while preparing for that exam. And I remember that night, the first person I called was Bro Paulson. Apparently, he was our youth leader in church then. I called him and I spoke to him about it, and then he gave me the nod and said, oh, it was a beautiful idea. So after my exams, the next day, I remembered I called my mom, spoke to her about it, and then she said we should pray about it. And then a few days after, she encouraged me and said, since it was, it's a God's, it's a program that she felt it was, inspired by God. So she encouraged me to push through. So I had that idea in my mind, nurtured it, spoke with my friends, Toby, Bolaji, John, all of them. that period about the whole concept. And then I came home, went to see my dad, Pastor Okpa. Yeah, my dad. Spoke to him about it too, and then he bought the idea, gave me suggestions and all of those things. He scrutinized me also, saying, "Oh, what was the point?" and all of those things for having a program like that. And that was basically how 8 hours Hallelujah praise came to life.
So, Daddy, when Victor came to you with the idea of the concerts the first year, how did you feel? What were your reaction? What were your thoughts generally?
Praise the Lord. When he came up with the idea, I have to ask him, you know that I don't just give him for anything. I have to ask him, what do you want to achieve with this program? What are the caliber of people you are bringing? I don't want people that will come and be doing what is not acceptable before God. But he promised and he shared the vision, and we buy the vision with him, and we give him an idea of what he need to do. People that can bring him to support him in order to make the program a success. And to the glory of God, we follow those instructions, we follow those advice. And today we are counting years of glorious program that the Lord is doing through you. So,
the night of the first concert, moment that when you got there, what was your reaction seeing the number of people gathered, the atmosphere generally? How did you feel?
The program is the first of its kind. Then in our former parish, and the attendance was great. The presence of God was heavy upon that program, and people were really blessed. Although there were some laughs here and there, but God took control. You know whether it's that night, but when you have somebody want to go and switch off the generator when you're praising God, and everything just went off. And I said, who is that? Because we didn't see anybody, but we want the generator back. So those are the challenges that even help to say no. We know that anything that God asks you, then we always want to challenge it. So thank God that God took control at that night. People were blessed, and the name of God was glorified.
Are there other problems that you have encountered, like in one edition, that really stood out to you, or just problems generally?
There's no how you do programs like that encounter problems, So even getting people around is a problem. I remember the last edition we had. I remember I was crying. I think I was because I was so overwhelmed, coordinating people, and that time, that period, my friends were scattered around, they were in school and all of those things. So I was basically like doing every of those things on my own, and I could not coordinate things. It was hard. I remember I'll be the one to also go and meet people that want to rent instruments, be in the technical team, be in the media team, and I didn't say chauffeur parade, all of those things. So it was hard coordinating people. Because I'm this kind of person that always want things to go well. I'm not a perfectionist, so to say, but I want things to go well too, like to the best of my knowledge. Okay, I want us to do things all right. Whatever I want to do, let's give it our best. Let's go all out. So I'm that kind of person. So I'm always running up and down. It's overwhelming. So there have always been issues, but thank God, God has always helped us. He has always, seen us through.
So when the first concert happened, what was your reaction? Like getting to the venue, seeing the number of people, seeing what he has done. What was your reaction? How did you take it? What did you feel like?
In fact, even being to that place where the first concert was held, I was really glad because when I saw the different youth from different areas that came to that concert, and the way they are singing and praising God, worship God, the atmosphere there was even changed. Even people that have not even known God, by seeing that, He wants us so through that the first concert. And many people that have been even agitating of going to school, you see, with that seal and what is there, a lot of testimony, people that have been, seeking for admission for years and this. Even for that night, people, 2 or 3 people are receiving letter of admission. And they say, and through that worship, a lot of things was happening in this environment that some people gave their life to Christ.
You also mentioned as at the inception of this program that some of your friends had not gained admission, and I heard like testimonies like after that some people gain admission. Can you speak a little about that and other testimonies that have been attached to the program itself?
All right, so 8 Hours Hallelujah Praise is a program that's special to me and special to my family because God has been good to us. So one prayer point that we have always prayed for, especially my mom, is anytime we have this program, that we don't just have this program just to gather people, but there will be testimonies that are abound. So after, I think it was in 2017, but that was the first year, testimonies, but we didn't take account of these testimonies until 2018, 2019. So we had more volunteers and more people. And I remember that about 4 people gained admission in 2018. And in 2019, 2 other people gained admissions in 2019. Also, it was in this same concert rather, that we have Omoti and integrity. They are our greatest testimony in this concert. We had them. It was in this concert they met each other, and to the glory of God, both of them are married now. And
They are married.
Yeah, they are married. They even have a child. They have a child now. So we are grateful to God for these testimonies. There are a lot of other testimonies that have abounded because of these concerts, and it is, that's why I said it's a program that's special to me and my family, because whatever we ask for, God has always found a way of giving back to us, no matter what we even spend. It's not even about the money now, but what God does after the program is always really, really astonishing, and we are grateful to God for all of these things.
So in 2020, there was a break between 2020 and 2023, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
What was happening? Can you just give us like a brief explanation of what happened in that time? Like, we know that the COVID happened in 2020, but definitely other years. What happened? Did you receive messages? Why didn't you proceed to resume and all? Just give us a rundown of how that went.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so in 2020, after COVID came and all of those things, and in 2021 through 2023, I think I've just been scared. I was naive. Because previous times when we have had the concerts, we have always we have always sought sponsorship from people. I said, I told you we were young and we were not working, and the country, every now and then there's something happening. So economically things were not so good. But I had not built up faith, so I was scared. Even though my parents were trying to encourage me and all of those things, I had not found that conviction in my heart that okay, let's proceed with these things, because we almost ran into debt at one point. And I know if coming out to say that kind of thing, people say Talore. So I wanted to be convinced in my heart, and I want to thank God for my friends who have always been, asking, let's pray about this, let's do this. God has been the one that gave us the idea, so it's definitely not going to be. I'm grateful to God for my friends who also encouraged me and all of those things, because definitely if they were ready to ride on with the projects, to do the projects even without me, but I think they just gave me that privilege. Okay, since I'm the convener, they were not going to do anything if I don't agree to it. And I just want to bless them, because in 2023, the word the word I was expecting, or the word I was waiting for, came. God used one of us, and he spoke and said, where we were before was not, or rather, it's not where we are now. And that word jeered my spirit, and I said, oh, okay, this is the confirmation I've been waiting for. We are doing this concert this year, and I want to bless the name of the Lord, because God has helped us this year. He has helped us.
Mentioned that fear was one of the reasons why the concert was on a halt for some years, and you also mentioned that God used one of us to give you like a push, like confirmation and a push. During those 3 years, was there nothing like that, or you were just ignoring those messages as a result of fear?
I was ignoring those messages as a result of fear. Like I said earlier, we did. We grew up together, so she basically knows me very, very well. So there was a day she called, she spoke like a sister, like a friend. She even insulted me, and all of these things. Aside, sir, even my mom, even my friends, Toby, Palumi, all of them, but I was telling them, I've not heard anything from God. I would say I've not heard anything from God, and when it's time to pray, I'm always shying away because when you pray, you're supposed to stay. You're not just supposed to pray and expect an answer. You're supposed to stay. Okay, so an answer doesn't just come like that, but you're supposed to stay in the presence of God to get answers. But I was too eager to stand and leave the presence of prayer. Leave the presence of God rather, because I was scared. I was really, really scared. And I think that was something that the devil placed in my heart for 3 years. But I want to bless the name of the Lord because we thank God. God has been faithful. Want to thank God for second chance.
So, to our knowledge, the concert held for 3 years and we stopped in 2020. So when we stopped 2020, people asked us that, okay, what is going on? But did you call Victor to ask him, like, okay, why did you stop the concerts?
Yes, I do disturb him. That along the line, the issue of this COVID-19 of 18 is the one that stopped the program. But thereafter, when I asked that COVID-19 affects a lot in the studies, so he told me that because of their studies, the activities in the school. So I reasoned with him. Although I keep on telling him that vision must not kill, so you have to do something. But when this year now, when he now told me earlier of this year that said that mommy, this program, I think we have met again. He even mentioned that Toby and is it John or Tito B or whatever, that they were disturbing him that this program must come back to life again. And I was so glad when he
saying that you had to be the one to do most of these things, like plan, go to meet sponsors, speak to people you want to get instruments from. How has that changed this year?
Oh, wow. Like I said, I told you God spoke to one of us. God used one of us, and he said we're not where we used to be. So yeah, we definitely are not where we used to be. So definitely our thinking has changed, and we've grown to be better people. Now we understand to a certain extent. We understand what it takes to plan a program. We understand that one person can't do all of these things. We understand that one tree doesn't make a forest. So we understand that to host a program involves collective efforts. It involves not just one person. A person can be the convener, but you still need more people to help you actualize all of these projects. So God has helped me to understand that I need my friends more. I need people around to do all of this. So what I just did this year was I know my friends, so I know what they can do. So I just delegated tasks. I said, okay, you handle this, you handle this, you handle this. And God has helped us. God helped us, and then we've been able to actualize this project via the backing of God. And one thing we also did this year is we prayed more. Yes. One of our focal points has been that everything that we do, that God directs us, whatever His presence will not be, that He shouldn't even allow us to do it. We don't want to do anything by ourselves, but we want Him to direct us. So that has been one thing that has really, that's really stood out for us this year. We prayed more, and then we allowed God to direct us more than we did. God was directing us in other areas, but we were scared, or rather, I was scared. So most times, I would do things with human understanding and not with God. That was what stood out for me personally this year.
So this year, restoration. What is that about?
Alright, so the theme can seem coincidental because we are coming back, but that was what we got this theme in March. God gave us this theme restoration in the month March. It can seem coincidental because we are just coming back, but God works mysteriously. So the Bible makes us understand that He will restore the years that the locusts, the cankerworms, and the palmer worms are eating. So He's going to do all of these things. So this year, God is going to do things that we don't expect. The word for us this year is that He's going to restore to us all the years that we have wasted, all the years that we think are things, or we think that we expect that all of these things, all of the good things in our life are supposed to have happened. So the word for us this year is that God is going to bring them back. God is going to give us everything that we have imagined, every good things that we have imagined or we are expecting in multiple folds. And He has even used our lives as practical examples, myself and even my friends, and then God has restored us this year. God has restored us, and we are grateful to God for this. So the fact that He used our lives as practical examples is another testament that you are in for a miracle tonight. And I want you to key into all of these blessings tonight. Please key into every session you're going to watch and see here tonight. Yeah.
So you have mentioned your friends over and over. Could you speak a little about their impact in this? How did they encourage you initially when you came up with the idea, and so far their contributions? How has it been to you?
All right. Basically, I think I've been I don't know the correct English to use now, but I think where I am today is because of relationships I've had with people. Who I am today is because of the relationships I've had with people. So, me mentioning my friends is because they have been there for me. Okay, so most members of the team are people that we've been together right from secondary school. You see the likes of Toby, John, Bolimi, Mide. We didn't go to secondary school, we grew up together. And so many people, Bolaji, so many people that I can't even mention their names. So we've been together right from secondary school. I remember when this whole idea started, we were still in university that time. Some of us had not even gained admission. We had to put heads together to come up with ideas on how to make these things, on how to make the program a very successful one. We had to come up with ideas and all of those things. And, even as at that time, we were not we were still new to the whole stuff, with our own ideas and all of those things. And God still helped us. So it was because of, the togetherness and all of those things. And this year, for the concert, their impact has been astounding. I can't really, there's no word I can use to, express what they have done towards the success of this concert. I can't start saying what they have done. If I was to pay, or if we were to pay for most of the things I have gotten from my friends this year, I tell you, it's going to be so much. I can't overemphasize their impact. Talk about in the aspect of media. My best friend does the flyer. My best friend does the video, the motion graphics. All my friends are doing one thing or the other. They're in charge of a lot of things. They're in charge of a lot of things. Things that if I start paying for them, or if I start paying for them, it's going to be so much. My friends are the ones directing music. They're the ones in charge of logistics. They're the ones in charge of technical department and all of those things. So basically, I'm a product of relationships with people and all of those things. So yeah.
A message of encouragement to the audience, the viewers about restoration.
All right, everybody, I want you to know tonight that God is set to do wondrous things in our lives tonight. It's a season of restoration. In spite of all that is happening in the country, in spite of all that is happening in your life, God has restored us. Yes, He has done it already. So all you just need to do tonight is key into every session, the praise and worship. It's basically a praise and worship session tonight. I want you to key into every session. I don't want you to look at the minister. I don't want you to look at whoever is singing. I don't want you to look whether the person is popular or not. Please key into every session tonight. Just like I said in previous years, we've had testimonies, even when we didn't even pray so much. Now, compared to when we have invested a lot in prayers, Now, you can be sure, you can be certain what God is going to do tonight. And let's not forget that God inhabits the praises of His people. So tonight, I want you to dwell in in the place of prayer and praises, in the place of worship. I want you to take advantage of this session because God is set to do exceedingly and abundantly beyond all that we are thought of or we have imagined. Shalom, shalom.
Thank you.
From what we have seen and heard so far, the love of God and music played a significant role in inspiring the idea of 8 hours Hallelujah praise. However, there remains a key person in this story. Someone who, beyond everyone mentioned, was instrumental in shaping Victor's journey. This person was more than a mentor. He was a teacher, a father figure, and a friend to Victor. Mr. Olawale was a choir director in one of the churches Victor attended during his formative years, and also a teacher at his secondary school. On various occasions, he provided Victor with platforms to showcase his musical skills, particularly during the school's retreats. These opportunities not only nurtured Victor's skills, but also deepened his passion for music. Today, we dedicate this documentary to the loving memory of Mr. Olawale. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace.